My name's Bomber Farrell. I live on Groote Eyelandt in the Northern Territory. We're in a 6.5 metre walk around Northbank boat, and we're out on Northeast Island actually tonight, and we're in the middle of nowhere basically. That's where we are, in a very remote part of Australia and Groote Eyelandt. The Northbank boat is a fiberglass boat and it rides unreal, and that's what I was really after having a plate boat for so long, for many years, and now I love the ride. It's also got a really nice big cabin where two people can sleep comfortably, and when I was going to get the boat, it was a real selling point for my wife, I have to admit. At the same time, we can go away on some really big adventures with all my mates, barra fishing, bill fishing, or any other safaris that we go on around the island. When I first got the Northbank, I had an L6 on here, the Verado, which was cool. No dramas at all with that motor. We did a lot of hours on that, like close to 1,500 hours on that motor. We flipped that over and then put the V8 on, which was unreal. And I've just changed this one recently and just got now the white V8. Basically, that's the only thing. The beauty of changing over the V8 from one V8 to the other was literally unbolting, unclipping, and it was done in about 2 hours. And it was straight out the door, which was brilliant and just so easy to do. So we've got the DTS control. So that on the throttle, it just makes it so sensitive, smooth when you're driving along. And the way that the ergonomics in the helm are held there, it's just really easy. Put your hand on the side, rest it there, and just adjust slightly with your thumb. It is sensitive and a little bit hard to get used to at the start, but once you're onto it, it's really good. And it's just smooth to go back straight into reverse, especially when manoeuvring around in rivers and creeks. And I have to admit that we do take this boat up into some tight creeks, maybe where the owners of Northbank wouldn't be too happy with me. But the thing is, you've got to be able to quickly be in and out of gear. The gearbox on this is unreal as well, which does make a big difference with that. We've also got the active trim, which I use all the time because it just makes it easy. You don't have to think about it. When we're bill fishing especially and we're hunting down sailfish, if we're just trolling along and the active trim in the motor will be just trimmed down to low idle, and then we will just see birds and we'll just turn and we will just race over. The last thing we've got to worry about is just trimming the motor out. It does it all automatically. When we're doing long runs as well, like we've done today out here, having the active trim, just the couple of times we went through some different conditions, it just changes and adjusts itself perfectly. And at the same time, we've got that in conjunction with the cruise control, which is a great feature when you're just going on these long runs. You can just set that up, leave it at running at say 52 kilometers an hour, about 27, 28 knots, and you just leave it. And the throttle, you don't even, if you touch the throttle, actually doesn't do anything at all. It's all on the digital side of it. So if we've just got a big long run and we're on the autopilot, things like that make a big difference. You just sit back and relax, and you can also let someone else just go and sit at the helm and stay on watch, which is good for a 2 or 3 hour, 4 hour run that we commonly do around here. Well, the Northbank comes with a 300 litre fuel tank, and when we're up here living in a remote part of the world going on some big missions, fuel economy is so important for what we're doing. So when we do take extra bladders and tanks with us, but then having the reassurance that we're using a really good amount of fuel, when we're getting about 1.2 to 1.4 kilometres a litre, it makes a big difference. For me, that is really, really important. Having the digital controls with telling you exactly how much fuel you've consumed is also reassuring. So when we go out on those trips, you can actually tell exactly what you're using as it's running out, basically, which we did today when we came out. We just adjust it, just back off a little bit. As much as you just want to go flat out, sometimes it's actually not worth it because we've got to think of the next few days and actually trying to making our way all the way home. A day fishing with me is variable, I would say, depending if we're going bill fishing and chasing a billfish, which is like what we do notoriously this time of the year onwards, or otherwise we'll be coming up north, and we've done an overnight trip which is awesome up here to Northeast Island. It's a pristine part of the world. We're able to pull up on these little cool beaches, see turtles swimming around, go and catch a few fish out here and just go for a swim and enjoy the fishing that we have throughout the day, and then at night we are able to pull up and eat what we've caught for the day, which is really good, I think, for the people who come up and have a look around. I like taking people out and showing them around Groote, and it's a pretty special part of the world. So being able to do that's good. I also like going over and getting a few barra as well with the boys. So we go and do a few boys trips and do a few overnighters, which is always a big trip and good fun as well. Groote Eyelandt is the 4th largest island in Australia. It's situated about 50, 60 kilometres on the eastern side of Arnhem Land, of East Arnhem Land that is. So we're way out in the middle of sort of nowhere. We're 600 kilometres east of Darwin, so you've got to get a plane out to this place or catch a barge basically. You're in the middle of nowhere. So it's a remote part of the world. They do mine manganese here, so that's what it's known for, manganese, and also fishing recreationally, like we've been able to do for years, and lucky enough to be living out here and enjoying like some of these beautiful places and the diversity that we're able to access. A really good feature with the V8 is having access to the top, which you can just simply pop that off. You can unclip that and lift the cowling straight off and just pull it straight in the boat to check anything on the engine. You know, just check the oil there as well. And I mean, that's brilliant. There's no other motor that really does that, and I think that is absolutely a great feature with this Merc to be able to do that, especially when we're out here in the middle of nowhere and you can't go to land in some of these places. So you're pretty restricted, and mechanically, that's really important to have access to things like that. Little features like that are brilliant. So having the Merc, and I do run a Humminbird on board here, and I've also got autopilot, and having an EMA backbone there, which is all interlinked together, all works together perfectly. I can just pull up all of the motor information on the Humminbird, so you can just view that as you're going along, or if you're pulled up and you just want to check a couple of things out, which is really convenient, so that it actually is diverse to run with whatever electronics you have got on the boat, and you don't have to specifically go and buy something that you didn't previously have. Well, when we go fishing, I'll tell you what, we love to just dominate the fish, and I'll tell you what, without the Mercury, we wouldn't be able to go and dominate all those fish around Groote Eyelandt. How's that grab you?